Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Met Report. I'm Will Martin.
And I'm Kyran Nigro. Let's get started.
On Wednesday, incumbent Colorado Senator Michael Bennet came here to MSU Denver for a PBS-sponsored town hall. We got a behind-the-scenes look at the event and spoke with Senator Bennet up close.
On Wednesday, Democratic Senator up for re-election Michael Bennet came here to MSU Denver for a PBS-sponsored town hall. We got a behind-the-scenes look at the event and spoke with Senator Bennet up close. The politician spoke on such issues as housing.
The cost of materials have gone through the roof, and they've gone through the roof all over Colorado. We ought to use construction innovation and manufactured homes as a way of trying to cut the cost down.
Immigration.
I became part of the Gang of Eight in 2013 that wrote the comprehensive immigration bill that passed the Senate. The bill we passed is going to look a lot like what we passed in 2013, a pathway to citizenship for the 11 million people that are here. And we had $40 billion of border security in that bill so the American people would know that we had a secure and humane border. That's what we have to get back to. Tragically, that bill never got a vote in the House of Representatives.
And foreign policy.
We are deeply worried about the rise of political extremism. We're deeply worried about the rise of anti-Semitism in the European countries. Putin has made one mistake after another, partly because of who he is, but also partly because of the nature of his totalitarian system, which won't tell him the truth about anything. We have a very, important role with respect to the autocratic regime in China, and about having an economy that when it grew, grows for everybody, so we wouldn't have the massive income inequality that we have today. The most important thing we need to do, if we're going to play that role, is get our act together.
While Bennet gave careful responses to the questions asked, the student panelists were not always satisfied with his answers.
I appreciate, everything that you're saying, and that we appreciate you expressing your beliefs to us. But personally, for me, I don't think you answered my question at all.
And even now, with this new decision, that really leaves me to, again, no answer.
You claim you want a two-state solution in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. However, you have supported the Israeli Boycott Act, which does not allow companies to boycott Israeli from its atrocities committed against the Palestinian people.
The town hall was part of a series of events featuring Colorado politicians in the run-up to the 2022 midterm election, which will take place on November 8th.
Well, I'm not confident about anything. I always run my own races like I'm 20 points behind, and I found that useful. I think that the work that we've done over the last 14 months to pass a bipartisan infrastructure bill, to pass the most significant expansion in veterans benefits, to pass the CHIPS bill that we were talking about earlier, the semiconductor bill, and the most significant climate bill by any government in the world. It's always a difficult time to be in an election like this, and we're going to have to fight for every single vote, and that's what we're going to do here in Colorado.
Recently, it was announced that the Speech, Language, Hearing Sciences Department has partnered with the Scottish Rite Foundation to establish a $50,000 grant within the department. The grant established by Scottish Rite will help graduate students within the department to work with young children in the Denver metro community that have speech and language disorders and differences. MSU is the only Hispanic serving institution in the state with a graduate program for speech language pathology, giving the school an important role in forwarding progress in marginalized communities with communication services. Our reporter Will Martin spoke with Dr. Jessica Rossi-Katz, chair of the Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences Department here at MSU, about what this grant means for the school.
So by getting the Treasure Chest grant, it allows our graduate students the opportunity to work with young kiddos and their families with speech language disorders or speech language differences. And really it's meant to encourage those foundational communication skills. So this allows our graduate students to participate in that aspect that speech language pathologists work in.
There are always exciting events on the MSU campus. One event to look forward to is the Umoja Conference. Our reporter Maya Entep was at the King Center to cover the 3rd annual Umoja Conference.
I'm on campus outside the King Center where the 3rd annual Umoja Conference is going on. This is a conference where students from various backgrounds of diverse communities can come together for a discussion on culture, today specifically hip hop. I had a chance to look at the panelists and see inside. Let's go check it out. Students gathered in the King Center for the 3rd annual Umoja Conference. Here, students engaged with the panelists for a discussion on culture, hypermasculinity, sexism, misogyny, and even hip-hop. I spoke to Dr. Devon Wright, Assistant Professor of Africana Studies here at MSU Denver. Let's take a listen to what he said.
We're putting on an awesome event today called the 3rd annual Umoja Conference under the theme Black Women in and of Hip Hop. We just finished showing a film, Beyond Beats and Rhymes, that explores hypermasculinity, sexism, misogyny, and now we have a panel discussion going on of an all-Black women panel discussion hashing out these themes.
After the panelist discussion, students were given lunch followed by keynote speaker Dr. Joan Morgan, renowned Jamaican-American author and journalist.
I can't get with it, but I can't say it's illegitimate. It's like hip-hop is gonna be 50 years old next year. And so we have to stop ourselves from the tendency of simply evaluating it from its origins.
Later on this afternoon, the conference will feature performances from local students and more discussion on cultural issues and hot-button topics.
Don't leave, because coming up next,
A body found over 2 decades ago has finally been identified.
students looking to apply for debt relief can finally do so.
And a merger between 2 of Colorado's biggest grocery chains is agreed to.
We'll be right back after the break.
Dad?
Being a dad can be transformative, but also a lot of fun. Help prepare your little monster for the outside world. Encourage their interests. Support their growth. Walk them through new relationships.
He's perfect.
Whatever you say.
And prepare them to stand on their own 2 feet.
So much of the good in my life is because of you.
Never stop being a dad.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
It's definitely taken a toll on all of us.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before,
it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID shots are safe.
Much safer than getting the virus.
We can all do our part
and get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Thank you for staying with us. In more recent news, a body found in the South Platte River was left unidentified since its discovery in 1999, until last week when examiners got a strong lead. Fox 31 Denver reported that this was one of the longest periods of anonymity for a dead body in the area. While the Office of Denver Department of Public Health and Environment did work to create a recreation of the man's face out of clay, his race, familial status, and age remained mysteries for the last 2 decades. Using DNA analysis, the examiner announced on Wednesday they had identified the man as Preston Christensen, age 52 at the time of his death, and apparently originating from Minnesota.
With the election coming up, Democrats and Republicans have been campaigning and encouraging voters to get out and show support at the polls. Our reporter Maya Entep was live at the Shed Community Center in Denver, where Colorado Democrats hosted a Get Out the Vote event.
I'm here at the Shed at the Garden where Governor Polis, Senator Bennett, and Dr. Caraballo are here for a Get Out the Vote event. This is an opportunity for community members to meet with the candidates that they care about on issues that matter. Let's take a look. With the general election coming up in November, Colorado Democrats are organizing to get voters to come out and support key candidates at the ballot. Colorado elected officials like Governor Polis came to the Shed at Midtown to speak on issues that he's been campaigning on, while voters have a chance to connect and have a bite.
In the time I've been governor, we've gotten free preschool and kindergarten for every child across the state of Colorado. Preschool starts next year, kindergarten on the way. A few of you kids older than that have said to me today, why couldn't you have got it done a few years ago? Well, we got it done. Saving money on healthcare, taking on big pharma, a lot of work ahead, saving people money on housing. Look, this election is really about moving Colorado forward rather than backward, right?
Senator Michael Bennett briefly spoke to urge voters to think critically about their choices at the ballot and what's at stake this election.
The majority of the House of Representatives
depends on it. This is a swing district. It is 50.
Barbara Kirkmeyer, Republican candidate, and Yadira Caraveo are neck and neck for Colorado's new 8th district.
Obstacles that we're mounting every single day. And those are obstacles that you and I have to make sure that we take down by electing all of these incredible Democrats that are here with you today.
To register or update your voter status online, please go to www.coloradosecretaryofstate.gov.
Amidst midterm madness, MSU students can finally take a breath, at least in terms of their student debt. The new student debt relief program is now open and accepting applications on studentaid.gov. The Biden administration announced the new student debt relief program this past August is offering up to $20,000 of relief to students. For 2 months, anticipation was building for the program's implementation, and on October 17th, it went live, with 8 million Americans applying for relief in the first 2 days. If you're a student and looking for relief funding, be sure to apply before the new year.
It was announced on October 13th that Kroger, the parent company of King Soopers and Albertsons, the parent company of Safeway, agreed to a company merger combining two of the biggest grocery chains in the country. Kroger controlled 33.6% of the metro area's grocery sales last year, with Safeway controlling roughly 11%. With this merger, the company will control nearly half of all grocery sales in the Denver metro area. The price wasn't cheap, however. Kroger's original bid for Albertsons tallied up to $20 billion, as well as the company's assuming $4.7 billion in debt from Albertsons. The merger will not be made official till early 2024, and it's already drawing scrutiny. A statement from Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser: at a time of rising food prices, the possibility of undue consolidation in the grocery business raises serious concerns, particularly since King Soopers and Safeway have a large footprint in Colorado. My department and I will closely monitor and review this proposed merger between Kroger and Albertsons to ensure it does not harm consumers or workers.
The skies are clear, the temperature is warm, and the sun's out. Grant, show them what you got.
Thanks, guys. Currently outside right now on this fine Friday where it's a high of 80. We're already at the peak of the temperature for the day where it's going to stay there until about 6 o'clock today when the sun goes down behind those mountains. Still got that summer heat going on. However, still bring a jacket. In the morning, it's still going to be about those low 40s, especially today and tomorrow. On Sunday, though, we're still looking at those lows of 30s to 40s in the morning, but we're going to start seeing 65 as the high. As well, some clouds are going to start rolling in on that day, and they're going to stay here even on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, we still have some low 30s, high 60s for the weather, but it's going to be a bit sunnier, so maybe go get a tan while you still can. Well, it's still warm out enough. Leaves are changing right now, and fall is rolling in. On Thursday, we have a 40% chance of rain with those clouds once again. Low 30s, high 60s throughout there. Until those next Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, we're going to start even seeing lower temperatures. So fall is definitely moving on in. Get that sun while you can, and stay warm, everybody. Back to you guys.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that it's its own unique space too.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before,
It's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
I'm a first generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that it's its own unique space too.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before,
It's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe,
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
so go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Cece, also known as Ariana. Welcome back to this week's spooky edition of the Met Report. So we can keep on breathing, let's get into it. Yeah. It can't be Halloween without the haunted houses and the spooky corn mazes. This year, our EMET team went to Fritzler Farms, Scream Acres, to see what they had in store for us this year. Let's take a look.
Hi guys, today we're here at Scream Acres at Fritzler Farm Park, located just outside of Greeley, to take our stab on going through the haunted corn maze. Let's go!
Fritzler's Farm Park Scream Acres was created by owner Glenn Fritzler. The maze covers over 15 acres and is over 2 miles long, with actors placed throughout the maze preparing to give you the fright of your life.
We are here at one of Colorado's most haunted corn mazes, and with me today is Christian Victor, designer of Scream Acres, located in Greeley, Colorado. Christian, please tell me more about the design of the cornfield.
So this year we kind of took a step back and wanted to look at Scream Acres in its entirety, and we decided that some areas we could make a little bit scarier. This has been a journey coming through here, going through each building, each area of the corn maze, and effectively making it as horrifying as we possibly could. So for Scream Acres, we wanted to take it from end to end and optimize our scares. We wanted to give them the opportunity to, our actors I should say, the opportunity to get every type of scare out there. We didn't want them to be focused on one thing. We didn't want everybody to be jumping out and going for the big old jump scare. We wanted everybody to feel a little bit of different kind of fear out there. And going through, we optimized it for our actors. This is an entire haunt built for actors, and it would be nothing without the amazing actors that we have out here.
The haunt includes crazy jump scares and sick visuals that will be sure to enhance this terrifying experience. Scream Acres also offers other farm attractions, access to their beer garden, and so much more. To purchase your tickets or find out more, you can head on over to their website at www.fritzlerscreamacres.com. The haunt is open now through October 29th.
Well, this maze isn't for the faint of heart,
but it's still a spooky season must. Everyone at the Met Report and everybody here at Fritzler Park invites you to try and find your way out of this one.
For the Met Report,
I'm Cecilia Perez-Najera.
I'm Anissa Mohdrezza.
And I'm Sassy Montenegro. Good luck, guys.
Halloween is getting closer and closer and the activities are ramping up on campus. This past week's activities was the Rowdy Town Movie Night. On Monday, October 17th, the new student orientation held Rowdy Town Movie Night in celebration of Transfer Week here at MSU. The event was held at St. Cajetan's and was open to prospective students, everyone on campus, as well as friends and family. The event had a ton of Halloween celebration activities like pumpkin carvings, crafts, snacks, and of course, Halloween movies. There are going to be more events to help you get in the Halloween spirit, like the Haunted Japan event in the King Center next week on Wednesday from 4:30 to 6:30, where you can go listen to some scary Japanese ghost stories. There's always so much happening in the world of Hollywood, and you know we're going to do our best to give you all the latest details to keep you in the loop. Here's our EMET Hollywood Rundown.
This week in Hollywood, the moment we've all been dreading has come. BTS announced their official hiatus. Big Hit, BTS's management company and label, announced on Monday the boys will be taking a hiatus to fulfill their service in the military. In South Korea, it's a requirement that all eligible men serve in the military before they turn 28. This has been fairly anticipated as Kim Seokjin, the eldest member of BTS, was granted a 2-year delay in recognition of the band's success. But time has seemingly run out for Jin as he will be turning 30 this December. BTS has said this is not the end and look forward to the reunion of the band sometime in 2025. The Late Late Show host James Corden is in hot water after being called out and banned by owner of restaurant The New York Balthazar. Keith McNally, via an Instagram post on October 17th, called James a tiny cretin of a man and the most abusive customer to my Balthazar servers since the restaurant opened 25 years ago. After the post and some backlash from the public, James Corden took it upon himself to call Keith to clear the air. Keith stated that James has apologized and he's forgiven him, saying he believes in second chances. Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez have blindsided the internet after posing together for a picture at the Academy Museum Gala just weeks after Hailey addressed her relationship with Justin Bieber on the Call Her Daddy podcast. Shortly after the release of the episode, Selena went on live to talk about the hate Hailey has received on the internet, calling it vile and disgusting. The two are showing there is clearly no beef and are putting everything behind them after posing together for pictures at the gala. George Floyd's family is planning to file a $250 million lawsuit against Kanye West after the rapper made false claims on the Drink Champs podcast, saying police officer Derek Chauvin didn't kill Floyd and he had instead died of fentanyl use. Roxy Washington, mother of Gianna Floyd, George Floyd's daughter and sole state beneficiary, has filed a cease and desist letter and is seeking damages for defamation, harassment, and emotional distress. Making sure you don't miss out on any of the latest Hollywood news. For the Met Report, I'm Cecilia Perez-Najera.
Maybe haunted houses or creepy mazes are a little too scary for you, but there's still plenty of activities you can do to light up this spooky season. We all know about Waterworld's drive-through Christmas light show, but do you know they're coming back early this year to be part of the Halloween fun? This year, Waterworld is having the Halloween drive-through light show called Fright Lights. On this drive, you'll enjoy seeing all the lights dancing to the beat of some terrifying tunes, a spooky graveyard, a pumpkin patch, and way more. Located in Federal Heights, Fright Lights is a perfect family-friendly or date night activity. The show is running through October 31st, so head over to www.frightlights.com to get your tickets. Make sure you don't miss out on the spooktacular Halloween fun. Are you a horror fan? Well, if you are, then you're in luck. Check out the list of scary movies showing this weekend that you can watch.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Sassy Montenegro here to bring you the top 3 list of the horror movies you guys can watch this weekend. From paranormal to jump scares, fake blood, there's a little treat for everyone to munch on. Starting off strong, we have Terrifier 2. The art clown resurrects and returns to Miles County with deadly and gory consequences. The clown is set to terrorize a teenage girl and her younger brother on Halloween, but no one is safe. Next on our list, we have none other than one of the most favorite horror characters, Michael Myers. I mean, can anyone actually get rid of this man? 4 years after the events of Halloween Kills, Jamie Lee Curtis returns one last time as Laurie Strode, horror's first final girl. She faces off one last time against the embodiment of evil. Only one of them will survive. Who will it be? Well, you'll have to watch to find out. And And saving the best for last, we have Smile. The movie will make that frown go upside down, but not in a good way. The movie revolves around a doctor who witnessed a bizarre and traumatic incident involving one of her patients. Her world completely changes. Now an overwhelming feel of terror takes over her life, and Dr. Cotter must confront her past in order to stop it. With that being said, that ends our list for today. What movie will you be watching?
Thank you so much for joining us on this week's spooky edition of the Met Report. Save your tears until next time. Now it's time to gear up and hit the field with Anissa for the latest on sports. Ariana, out. Yeah.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
All right, let's try this.
COVID has been a really long fight, and it's been especially tough on kids.
It's been a rough transition for all of us.
Right now, as a father, I want to give the best tools to protect my kids.
So what can we do to get back to that sense of normalcy?
Every day, parents ask me if their child 5 and above should get vaccinated. The answer is absolutely yes.
My own sons, who are 6 and 8 years old, had their COVID vaccine.
It's an added layer of protection to keep kids from getting any type of severe illness or complications from a COVID infection. A lot of parents are also wondering if the vaccines are safe.
Yes, it's safe and effective for children.
Definitely safer than a COVID infection.
Children get a smaller dosage than adults do.
So if you have questions or concerns about the vaccine, that's okay.
We're here to help.
We have the tools we need to protect kids and help them stay healthy and all get through this together.
What's up, everybody? I'm Anissa Mohdrezza, straight out of Midgard, here to bring you your weekly rundown on all the sports news around campus and in the city of Denver. I don't have a lot of time, so let's get to it. Last weekend was senior day for MSU soccer. Met reporter Kyran Nigro was on the scene covering the games.
This past Sunday, MSU men's and women's soccer celebrated their senior days before their last home game of the season. It was a special and emotional ceremony for the women's team as they celebrated 10 seniors. There were flowers, pictures, and lots of family and friends. The Roadrunners went on to beat Colorado Mesa in a hard-fought 1-0 victory.
With all the seniors, it was an emotional roller coaster this morning, but we knew we'd come out with grit and, you know, we just wanted to, Mesa's a huge team, so we wanted to be able to come out, keep our heads straight. And I'm glad that we got a win for the seniors, and it was just emotional roller coaster. I'm glad we came out with a win, so yeah, awesome day.
Thank you. As for the men's team, they celebrated 3 seniors before their game against Adams State. The Roadrunners had multiple chances to score between corner kicks and close-up opportunities, but could not capitalize until the Grizzlies had a 3-goal lead. The final score was 3-1.
Basketball is back, and the Denver Nuggets opened up the new NBA season facing off against the Utah Jazz in Salt Lake City. What should have been an easy victory went sideways as the Nuggets looked slow from the jump, finding themselves down 10 at the end of the first quarter. Utah's lead continued to grow through the second, thanks in part of their stellar shooting from beyond the arc, and the Nuggets' poor effort on defense. Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic both played well, but all eyes were on Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, who made their long-awaited returns from injury, tallying 15 points and 12 points respectively. Denver is back in action tonight, taking on the Warriors in San Francisco. What looked like a promising Broncos team back in early August has quickly turned to a growing disaster led by its tsunami of injuries, questionable coaching, and slow-cooking offense. Nathaniel Hackett has not had the start he wanted in his first head coaching job with the Broncos, losing 3 out of 4 games by 1 possession and 2 back-to-back overtime losses. The Russell Wilson-led offense is ranked dead last in the league, and in scoring has only broke the 20-point mark once this season, and in 4 primetime games, the Broncos have been held to 16 points or less. The only thing this year keeping the Broncos in range of winning games is their defense, which has held teams to an average of 16.5 points per game, as well as only allowing 6 total touchdowns this season. With many visible frustrations on the sideline, it will be interesting to see how Nate Hackett and Russell Wilson will turn things around or keep being a mediocre offense. The Broncos host the Jets this Sunday at Empower Field. Kickoff is scheduled for 2:05 p.m. Usually I could do this all day, but the Avengers and I have a universe to save. Now it's time for our anchors to assemble.
So, y'all know Halloween is until next weekend, right?
It's Hollow Month. Thank you very much.
Exactly. We celebrate it all month long here.
Well, you can join us next week for one more edition of Spooky Season on the Met Report.
That's all I've got today for the Met Report.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 9metmedia.com.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
And stay gorgeous, Denver.